Hey, everybody, welcome back to Lettermen Row. It's BuckIQ. That's Zach Boren. You know, we're about to talk about the Silver Bullets and I guess a bunch of turnovers. If you get rid of garbage time, under 300 yards allowed, and most importantly, 13 points on the scoreboard, Zach. I think this is another week where you get to actually say, hey, that was the Silver Bullet standard. Even if it was just Rutgers, Ohio State's certainly looking like a team that's ready to get rolling into the Big Ten schedule here.
This is another game to build on, right? We saw it last week against Akron. Now we see it again against Rutgers. This is that momentum that you have to start building, especially with the young defense. You're seeing more and more younger guys playing, and I think finally you're seeing them gel into their normal roles. And this is another great game. Yeah, some garbage time at the end. But man, to play the way they did against Rutgers, which leading into this game, we're all talking about this Rutgers team going into the big house and putting up a contest against Michigan. For Ohio State to go to Rutgers and be able to do what they did, and especially leading with this defense early with the Denzel Burke pick six and setting the tone, this is a huge building block.
Yeah, Zach, I was going to ask you about that because obviously we talked about it, last week on this show. We talked about it at weekend kickoff. There was an expectation that this was a better Rutgers team. So if that's the way that the pregame talk was, also, we still know that Ohio State's roster is vastly superior to what Rutgers had. And then that's, I think, how you came out of it. Some people on Saturday night saying that was only Rutgers. I mean, these games all count for one, but both of those things can't be true. I wonder which side of it you came out on, because you expect Ohio State to beat Rutgers the way they did. That's the normal way things work for Ohio State on a yearly basis. But I don't know. Do you discount it at all because of that level of opponent? Or is the other part accurate that you thought it would be a tougher test, and then the blowout carries more weight for you? Maybe it's a mix.
Yeah, I do not discount it at all. I think this is a game that going into it, Ohio State thought there was a chance they were going to be in dogfight. But like we talked about Thursday night at Urban's Pine House, was we thought Ohio State could out-athlete them and had the manpower and the athletes and everything across the board, just superior talent in order to blow Rutgers out of the water. And that's exactly what happened. We just knew Ohio State had to put it together. For everyone discounting this win, it's not. Look at the Big Ten East. Look at what they're doing. This Rutgers team went into the big house, like I already said, and only lost 20-13. And you saw what that Michigan team did against Wisconsin this past week. You do not discount this win. This is just an Ohio State team who is starting to build confidence. We've talked about it all year. College football season is about gaining confidence in the 105 guys in that locker room, making sure that they are just marching in unison and taking a step forward, and the needle is constantly moving in the right direction. That's what this team is doing, and that's what you got to continue to see. You look across the Big Ten East with Michigan, Michigan State, even a little bit of Penn State, they want to smash you in the mouth. This Ohio State football team is going to hit you, but then they're also going to spread you out athlete you the entire game. And that's what they did against Rutgers. And you hope they do that against Maryland again, and then just continue to building the momentum towards the meat of this Big Ten East schedule that actually is going to be pretty tough down the stretch.
Yeah, Zach, when you look at this in the last couple of weeks since the change with Matt Barnes calling the defensive signals, calling the plays in, and then also the youth movement and the shift to some of these younger guys who are making a big impact for Ohio State. Do you see a team that is dramatically different in terms of their scheme, or is this more about, the younger Ronnie Hickman, Denzel Burke, Tyleik Williams or whatever? I'm sure it's a combination of both, but I guess, do you see it as a major shift schematically, or is it just the younger guys growing up and playing with that energy?
It's completely a combination of both, and I hate to give that answer, but yeah, they've changed something. Yeah, they've changed something schematically, but at the same time, this is still the same Ohio State defense that it's always been. Yeah, they give you a couple different looks. Yeah, they might bring more pressures in certain situations, but this is still the same Ohio State defense. In turn, I just think some of these younger guys are stepping up, and I think some of these defensive players are taking it upon themselves. Early on the season against Minnesota and Oregon, you would see this defense get a first down against them and start tucking their tails. And as the team was moving down the field, it was just kind of like they were pouting and getting their feelings hurt because they didn't think a team was allowed to drive on them. Now you see a team start driving on them and gaining some momentum, and you see everyone's kind of ears perk up and say, hey, let's make a stop. Someone's got to step up and let's do this. And they look around and they build confidence off of one another and like, hey, I got this. Let's do this. We're going to make a stop. No one's driving and finishing this drive in the end zone. Let's do this. And so I think that's what you're starting to see, and that's what the great teams do. No one's perfect. Teams are going to get first downs against you. Teams are going to get some points against you. It's all about how you respond, and it's how you make them earn those points. And I think that's what you're seeing with this Ohio State defense is, hey, if you're getting the end zone, you're trying pretty dang hard because we're doing everything. We're going to pin our ears back and get after you.
Hey, what a difference a couple weeks make. Now we're going to be breaking down a handful of turnovers, another defensive touchdown, which Ohio State now has 4 of them in 5 games. That's something that could be tucked away for the record books and could be meaningful down the stretch. But no more just Zach Boren, BuckIQ Silver Bolt breakdowns of the issues. We're going to talk about some positives. I think you might enjoy that a little bit more. Let's roll the tape. All right, Zach, I mean, nothing in defense wants more than turnovers, and if you can turn it into points, even better. But you look at this, what causes this? I know that Rutgers, see Vedral here staring something down. Cam Martinez looks like he's going to get a pick, and then it Joe's over his head, and Denzel Burke gets it and said, what's the look here? How does this create a turnover?
Yeah, this is a great read by Cam Martinez here. And so many times we talk about read interact, and this is simple zone coverage, right? You see Cam Martinez read the quarterback's eyes, and you see him right here. Denzel Burke owes Cam Martinez a steak dinner for this one, right? But, yes, Denzel Burke is making a great play, but you still see this zone coverage right here. Cam Martinez does a great job playing the quarterback's eyes, gets underneath him, and the quarterback feels Cam Martinez sliding underneath that little slant route that the wide receiver was running here. He's got to throw the ball high to try and get over Cam Martinez's head, sails it. Denzel Burke makes a great play, and next thing you know, here we go. We're off to the races to the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
Yeah, that's, you look at it and you say, well, I mean, maybe it was a bad throw, and it was, but it was caused here because of that second guessing. He thought he had something, and Cameron Martinez forces it elsewhere. These are the kind of mistakes that Ohio State's trying to force from a quarterback that maybe just wasn't happening a lot early.
No doubt. And you see this quarterback sees Cam Martinez at the last second. Obviously, he thinks Cam Martinez is going to drive on the slot receiver here. Instead of driving on the slot receiver, Cam Martinez comes off of it, gets right underneath it, and the quarterback at the last second sees it, sails it high. Denzel Burke makes a great play. But here's another thing, man. Look at all these young guys, and you see JT towards the end getting to the end zone. All these young guys looking for blocks. Like, man, you can't teach this. This is effort and energy and everything. This is about being a team player right here. And, man, a lot of guys just want to jog after this. These are guys that care about this team, getting after it, trying to make a block, getting these guys to the end zone and finish. And this is awesome to see, especially from some true freshmen.
Look at this photographer down here getting a good look with those fancy shades and a Lettermen Row logo on his shirt. Wow.
Look at that. Who gave him credentials?
What a perfect spot. Burn must have known that pick six was coming. He gets the shot of Denzel Burke. All right, another one right here. This is a front-to-back defensive effort where it's you can't just point to one guy. I know we've talked about Zach Harrison in the past and the energy. He's really the one who sort of starts to create this. And how does he do it, Zach?
For sure. And here, you look at the situation. 4th and 6, obviously 52-6. But Rutgers is trying to make a play, right? But at the same time, everything is cyclical on this defense. You finally see a pass rush. Zach Harrison doing a great job turning the edge right here and playing with his hands, getting on the tackle's shoulder right here, getting on his edge and turning the corner right there, great with his hip bend and getting on the quarterback. Tommy Eichenberg getting here, getting up and playing the football. Like, this is all cyclical. As the DBs, we can pick on one side as we did earlier in the year. It's the DBs aren't doing this. Defense line's not doing this. Well, everyone's got to work in unison. You get some pressure on the quarterback. Quarterback's got to make a throw. In this situation, 4th and 6, he's got to get the ball out of his hands. Zach Harrison bending, turning the edge. That's great pressure. And the quarterback's like, hey, I just got to try and make a play. And then obviously linebackers, DBs, all in the right spot, playing his zone coverage right here, playing the quarterback's eyes. There you go. Get up, high ball, get up high on the ball, come down with it. Tommy Eichenberg, good job, man.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy Eichenberg has done a lot of those high point drills there from linebacker, but certainly executes it well. And that's another one. You look at Zach Martinez getting the Zach Harrison. I combine them, Zach Harrison with the assist, Cam Martinez on the first one. And it's not just one guy making one play. These are turnovers that are, as I said, created collectively by the defense. and that's true of the third one that comes in this game as well. You get pressure, good things happen.
100%, right? And especially with this Ohio State defense, the way they play, they're built on getting pressure up front. And you see Court Williams here, bringing the blitz off the edge. Man, he's looking quick and healthy. It's great to see him on the field. And I think there's some huge things that are in his future. And then you also see a guy like Tyleik Williams right here, who we broke down last week, getting pressure as well, getting in on the quarterback, using his hands. And look at this, creating an errant throw as well from this quarterback. And you see, the guys on the back end doing their job, holding their end of the bargain and making a play on the ball right here. And Ryan Watts, great job again. This is another time playing the football, getting up and getting after it. Tyleik Williams, this is just phenomenal. You see that with the left arm strong. The rip come across. Look at that. I mean, that is perfect. Literally, if I am teaching a junior high or young high school kid how to make a play on the inside and use your hands and rip through, this is textbook. And this is coming from a true freshman right here. This kid's going to see more and more playing time. This is phenomenal. Making the right play. We saw, listen, as a true freshman, you want to get after the quarterback. He knows, hey, I'm probably not going to get there. I'm going to get my hands up. I'm not going to hit the quarterback's head like we saw earlier in the year by an older linebacker against Minnesota. This is a kid that's smart, gets his hands up, goes, hey, I'm not going after his head. I'm going to try and get the ball, makes a great play on this. And then obviously Ryan Watts in the back end gets the payoff.
And it's always nice to know that this is what's legal for opposing offenseman linemen to do to Ohio State. This is not holding it for playing the Buckeyes.
Right. No doubt, right? Not holding it to play the Buckeyes, but the Buckeyes get called on it every single time. But you can just see his strength. I mean, look how strong Tyleik Williams is. They're getting through a holding call, still trying to make a play. The athleticism. I mean, this is just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, even on this one, another example of a bunch of young guys doing it. It's not the first time anymore. They're 5 games into it, but Court Williams has only played 2 games now. Tyleik Williams, as you said, going to get more reps as it goes along. Ryan Watts hasn't played a ton in that first month. They all factor into it with another turnover. Ohio State will be looking to generate a lot more on noon on Saturday against Maryland, a team that had a little bit of an issue with that last week against Iowa.
They did. Had a major problem against Iowa, but like you said, these young guys are just building on what's going on. And listen, this Maryland team's going to come in and they're going to try throwing the football. That's what they've done all year. You saw Iowa get after, the Maryland quarterback, and obviously I think he ended up throwing 5 interceptions last Friday night. Ohio State's going to try and do the same thing, but you just got to build on the confidence that this Silver Bowl defense is bringing right now. And these young guys are great. You even look at the guys like Steele Chambers, who's finally starting to fit in his role. Cody Simon, who's playing well. Taraja Mitchell had a good game to build on against Rutgers. There's a lot of these guys that need to continue building confidence and continue getting the reps, because the more reps they get, the more confidence they get, the more dangerous this Ohio State football team is going to be.
All right, big blowout win for Ohio State, helped fueled in large part by the defense, earning that Silver Bullet moniker again. If Zach Boren says it's true, that's good enough for me. Zach, appreciate your insight. As always, we'll be back next week with another BuckIQ breakdown with you on the defense after Ohio State and Maryland, noon on Saturday. For Zach, I'm Austin Ward. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.